Well, in the light of the recent coup attempt in Turkey and a rapprochement with Moscow, is Ankara's overall strategy towards Syria changing? Aykan Erdemir is a former member of the Turkish parliament who is now at a Washington think tank. Is the strategy changing? Is this a U-turn by Ankara?
I think Turkey is hedging its bets in Syria. On the one hand, it's working with the United States and Incirlik Air Base to fight against the Islamic State. On the other hand, it's approaching Russia, Iran, and now possibly the Assad regime to carve out its own autonomous Syrian policy. As we have seen with the latest suicide attack in Gaziantep and Islamic State rockets targeting the border town of Kilis, Turkey continues to suffer a serious threat from the Islamic State. However, there is a complicating fact, and that is Turkey would rather not see the Kurdish YPG forces control northern Syria. So Turkey fears a Kurdish corridor in northern Syria as much as it fears the Islamic State, and that complicates the calculation.
So in terms of the movement by Ankara, yes, now they are leaving an open door, prepared to see Assad stay in power in some capacity, but is the absolute red line for them any separate autonomous Kurdish region which actually incorporates ground very close to the border with Turkey?
I think at this point, the Assad regime remaining in power, at least for a longer transition period, comes more palatable to the Turkish government than a continuous Kurdish corridor in the north. And that's what's happening with the latest shelling of Jarablus by Turkish forces. This is, on the one hand, paving the way for Syrian rebel forces to capture the city from the Islamic State. And at the same time, Turkey is shelling the Kurdish forces, trying to prevent them from taking over Jarablus, because ultimately, I think for Turkey, it's better for Jarablus to be in Islamic State hands to be in YPG hands.
How does this square, though, with the original strategy of Turkey, which was to turn a blind eye to various Islamist groups going into Syria to destabilise? These groups intended to actually sort of help regional hegemony, perhaps, for Turkey, but have now come back and are biting and attacking Turkey very hard. How has that been allowed to spiral out of control?
I think the Turkish government learned the hard way that it's very difficult to design Syria unilaterally. And over the years, Turkey started taking steps back from its adventurous involvement in Syria, and currently Turkey is undergoing a major foreign policy reset. We have seen the meeting with the Russian President Putin in St. Petersburg. We have seen high-level exchanges with Iran. We have heard rumors about a possible secret meeting in Damascus with the Assad regime. I think Turkey is now moving to a kind of a more prudent, more reserved policy that doesn't expect an immediate change in the status quo in Syria.
Does this suggest, though, a shift away from the West, a shift away, perhaps philosophically, from NATO and what Turkey's Western allies would expect from a country like Turkey?
It really is odd that a pivotal partner in NATO, the second largest army in NATO, is flirting with Russia, Iran, and the Assad regime in Syria. I think Turkey will continue to play this dual game. On the one hand, it will try to keep a pragmatic relationship, a transactional relationship with the United States and other NATO members. But on the other hand, it will try to carve an autonomous sphere of action by cooperating closely with Russia, Iran, and the Assad regime. One thing that's not part of Turkey's current strategy is consistency. Turkey has been flip-flopping in its foreign policy, and I think that will continue to be the main gist of Turkish foreign policy in the days to come.
Okay, all right. Aykan Erdemir, thank you very much indeed for joining us.